Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? We're doing things a little bit different tonight. As you can see, I'm over at Eric's
A
house.
sleepover, baby.
Yeah. Honey, if you're watching, sorry. No,
I can't believe you left your wife at home with no air conditioner, basement flooded, and then you're just drinking alcohol with your best friend.
Hey, these are Diet Cokes, baby.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, guys? I am the host for the podcast, Midwest Dad Squad. I got alongside my co-hosts. I have Eric Gold from Kimball, South Dakota.
Woo!
Alongside, I have my other co-host on this
See,
side.
it's hard to do it. It's extremely hard.
From Pierce, South Dakota, guys. Give it up for Drew Live.
Sammy Sosa. So.
All right, guys. We got some great things in store for you guys tonight. We got another guest speaker. Gonna have to guess who it is. We have no hints, so you're just gonna have to do it blindly. Oh, God.
Nothing is worse than like, hey, Dad, guess this. And like, it's the exact same thing with our little guest here. You guys guessed, you're probably gonna guess wrong because we didn't give any hints out. But anyways, let's get him to the stage. Drew, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm winded from going to go get this book that I promised
Oh,
everybody.
hopefully it's got pictures because we know everybody that lives West River can't read.
Yep.
All right, let's get
We'll
our
dive into
guest.
that a little later.
Let's get our guest speaker on here because I know everybody that's watching, this many people have guessed and they don't know.
You don't. Oh, let's get a proper drum roll, please, and we'll bring him on stage. And boom!
Oh,
What's up? Welcome, Jordan.
Welcome,
What's up,
Jordan.
brother?
we got you wrong there, dog.
Oh, crap. It's
Oh.
Kyle.
That's all right. Jordan's last name. Everybody calls me that, but you can call
Yes,
me
Mr.
KJ, whatever you want to
Jordan,
call me.
Mr. Jordan.
I respond to everything. You can
Yeah.
even ask my wife.
First name Michael.
Ah, that's my cousin.
So last week we talked about sports. Kyle, this is your first podcast
Yes,
ever?
ever.
Woohoo! We're popping the cherry tonight. Anyways, we talked about sports last week. I had to go get myself a beer bat so we could do another episode, a wonderful episode tonight.
Don't spill that.
Oh, it's not going to get spilled unless it's
I remember my first beer.
Shit.
Barely,
Is
but I
it
do.
is it a Busch Light?
No, it's not a Busch Light. It's Coors Light.
Oh, dang.
Kyle, you drinking tonight or you?
No, I'm cooling it after this weekend. We got some water in the basement and spent a lot of time drinking beer and ripping out some carpet.
Right there with you, man.
That's
I'm
why
so
David's
sick of
here.
it.
Yeah, we got all the padding out. We just put the carpet in like 4 years ago, so we pulled all the padding out, rolled all the carpet back, and we're drying it out as much as possible, trying to see if we can salvage it before we do something different with the basement.
Yeah, our carpet's a year old. It was really, really good carpet too, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have to rip it all out, and it's still freaking soaking wet. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah. Well, the nice thing is because your pad is within the last 4 or 5 years, you can dry that out and reuse it. I talked to a carpet guy, and he told me that you can dry it out, reuse it, and then suffer through it for a while until you decide to replace the flooring at some point.
Notice the walls are starting to warp a little bit. I think there's a little water damage still in there. It's a freaking, and then the AC goes out, so it's hotter than blazes in the house. You got a 1-year-old.
Oh,
Should live in paradise.
nobody wants to live in Pierre. That place is awful.
Yeah.
Best place in the world.
It's right next to Huron.
No,
That's where
it's not. Right next to Blunt and Fort Pierre.
Oh, I know where it's at. I just don't think it's worth going. It's about the same quality of Huron. I have a buddy of mine that actually lives there.
Don't even put us in that Huron category. I'm
My,
there for a reason.
Drew
My
was
buddy
actually born in Huron and moved to Pierre because he thought it was an upgrade, but comes to find out it's not.
It's the same. My buddy
Well,
actually owns the
got a river
Slumberland there in
here.
Pierre.
Oh, yeah?
My buddy, Paul's a good buddy of mine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably your carpet guy that you got your stuff from.
No, that's the guy I get my furniture from.
Are you guys ready for the episode?
You gotta chug that.
No, we're not chugging. I think you're
Chug
gonna
Chug
survive.
it. Come on. Come on, loose lips, get her done.
No, it's a lot of. There's a lot of.
It's a single beer.
It's 12
Oh.
ounces.
No, they're 16 ounces.
Oh,
I
it's a
measured-
pounder.
It's two.
Oh,
It's
no.
two.
It's 2
It's
pounds.
one. It's one.
One. It's one.
Blah-blah-blah.
No, this is what I'm sipping on the whole podcast. Should I be drunk before the first 15 minutes? And
Do it.
no, we're
What
not
else
doing
is new?
nothing. God, I'm a weak little. There's too much foam there, as David calls it, head.
Well, that's what it's called. It's called head.
This
David's
guy.
favorite part.
I think it's every man's favorite part.
Put on that thing, huh?
Hawk 2.
It's
That's
such a
right.
stupid thing. God.
That's crazy. She hasn't resurfaced yet since that video because she's suing the people that she worked for. She used to work as a preschool teacher,
I know.
and
that's pretty cool.
they fired her. They fired her 48 hours after that video came out,
No.
and she's suing them for improper termination.
She's
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
rich as hell now, isn't she? That thing went
Well,
viral as hell.
she's on her way because she's now viral, but she eliminated all her social media, so she's not even on social media anymore. But she's got a whole line of clothing and everything else now.
That's
so-
where she went wrong. She got to keep social media.
Oh shit!
Well, her lawyer told her not to, so that way she can pursue this lawsuit.
Can't get famous unless you have your social media.
I agree. Unless
All
you're
right.
Eric Gould, then you'll never be famous.
I will never be famous. Have you seen my TikTok? That's pretty famous.
No, I've never seen your TikTok.
It's about as good as our Instagram.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Kyle, we're going to bust into this little podcast here.
Cool.
So what we're going to do is Drew or David's going to ask you some questions about your personal life.
Sure.
One will choose family questions. The other is going to choose your work history, not your work history, but like what you do and
Yeah.
what makes you a dad and whatnot and stuff like that. And then
Sure.
I'm going to ask you food-related questions because tonight's topic is all about
Sports.
food. No, not
Sports. Hey, I can do both. I'm former athlete and I cook a lot, so I can do all. I'm versatile.
Heck yeah. So, Drew,
Yeah.
since you got a handicap here because you live in Pierre, what do you choose?
I'll take
Work or family?
family for 500.
All right, 500.
No, so I guess Kyle, you mentioned that you were a former athlete. So what sport did you do?
I was on the football team at Northern for a couple of years. So I
Okay.
played football in college, but I grew up with a house full of coaches. My dad was a basketball coach for 42 years. I got 6 uncles in the state of North Dakota that all coach basketball or refed it. So born and raised in the game of basketball, but I played everything
Nice.
growing up: baseball, football, basketball, everything.
Was
Ice
that
hockey.
Aberdeen.
I played roller hockey. I didn't play ice hockey. We didn't have a lot. I grew up in Rapid City. We didn't have a lot of ice out there because by the time it iced over, it melted. And back
Yeah.
then, hockey wasn't really a thing. They
Yeah,
didn't
hockey
have it
wasn't
over
that
there.
big. Yeah. Yeah, they just started shortly after this association started here in town. So
Yeah, yeah.
it hasn't been there long, but man, they're a powerhouse now.
Well, you got, what is it, the Rush or something like that over there?
Yeah, yep.
That's
Yeah,
their
they got the
minor
Rapid
league
City
team.
Rush. Yep.
So
Well,
they've got. I've been to one of
yeah.
their games. They're not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just see how I brought sports into this, Eric. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So I just told him.
It works.
Well,
What a waste of another episode.
okay, Kyle. How many kids you got? What genders? How old? Got
All
a
right.
wife?
Yeah. My wife and I, it'll be 10 years. Her name's Heidi. It'll be 10 years this November. She does Microsoft consulting for a large company. It's a sister company of Accenture, so it's a global consulting firm. I've got 3 boys. I don't make girls. I have
Nice.
a 21-year-old that just did his walkthrough at SDSU, so he has not officially graduated until December, but he's my first. And then I have a 7-year-old boy named Dax, and I have a 5-year-old boy named Bo.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Bo
Nice.
Nix, Dax,
Dax. Right. It was weird because like Caden's my oldest, and you know my wife did not want to have her first child with the initials BJ. So we're trying to figure everything else that we could do. I mean, my family's all K's. So I've got my 3 brothers and a sister. We're all K's. She didn't want any K's in there. And so, we were going for that short 1-syllable name because my last name is Jordan. It's 2 first names, right? So
Right.
Ricky Bobby. So she wanted to go with short syllable names, and Dax just was one that we kept coming back to. We went through the whole gambit of names, and that was the one that we fell back on, and we really liked it, and it fits his personality pretty well. And then Bo.
So you said Dak, D-A-K?
D-A-X, Dax.
Oh,
Dax.
Dax. Gotcha. I was
Yeah.
gonna say if it was Dak, he's got to be terrible at football.
Oh,
That was-
God.
Yeah,
I would never do that. I would never do that to any child.
He was born with a
Oh.
helmet on the opposite side of his head.
Yeah, right? Yeah. No, my brother's a Cowboys fan, and so he always calls him Dak, and I'm like, I'm going to punch you so hard. I can't stand him. So, but then we had Bo, and Bo was a name that she's always loved, and she's always wanted to have a Bo, and just threw out, second child syndrome, right? If you got kids,
Right.
you always have that second child syndrome, and threw the whole BJ thing out the window.
Yeah.
Away we go.
Yeah.
And I know what Eric's thinking there, because yes, that goes out the window too. If you're married, you all know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Okay. So
boys.
then you mentioned what your wife does, your kids do. What do you do for work?
So I work. You just told me.
This always
I'm-
happens.
I'm
David,
leading into it, David. Relax.
Okay.
You're asking family questions. Get out of there.
So I'll go back to my family. Dax and Bo, both athletes. Caden was an athlete. He played at Roosevelt, and he played football. He had some scholarship offers, but he graduated during COVID. And at that point, everybody got an extra year, and he had offers to like Marshall and Moorhead and Northern, and then SDSU said he could walk on, but he wasn't going to walk on with that, and he was trying to go to school for engineering at first, and just he realized math wasn't his strong suit, so he switched over to construction management. And then
Nice.
Dax, he's 7, he's into every sport, and he is going to be my athlete. He is just naturally gifted at everything. And as a dad, everybody says that, but coming from a coach's perspective, because I used to coach, the kid's got true potential through the roof. And my 5-year-old, he could be, but he's that kid when you were in high school that didn't give a shit and was always pushing the boundaries to instigate the problem. You know what I mean? You always have that one kid
No, I
that
don't
doesn't
know
care.
what you mean at all.
He doesn't care what the consequences are. He's gonna do it, whether it's funny or mean or whatever. He beats on my 7-year-old all the time.
yeah.
And he's actually more artistic than anything else, but he's got a lot of gifted athleticism. He just doesn't care. Like he played soccer, didn't care. He wanted to play defense and tackle kids. He played baseball, and he's pretty good at it, but he doesn't. It's too boring. It's slow for him. We're gonna give flag football a try this fall and see how he does on that.
Ice hockey. He
Dude,
wants fast-paced sport.
Oh.
Ice hockey.
ice hockey is so expensive, and it is such a
It's-
cult following like baseball. It's ridiculous.
It's
Name
honestly
one
not.
travel team sport that's not expensive.
It's
Softball,
honestly
travel
not
Basketball.
that expensive.
Basketball's not.
No,
What?
travel beanbags is definitely not that expensive.
No,
Well,
that's true, but you can't get scholarships. I'd almost rather have them do like esports, man. Those things are on the rise.
Wii Sports, even that.
Yes, yes, that's what he said. Wii
Wii.
sport.
Oh, I thought you said esports. My bad.
It works.
Okay, I
Oh.
won't steal her shine, David. Go ahead.
You kind of did, but you know.
No, he
whatever.
didn't answer. It's fine. Go ahead.
It's like two
Well-
brothers here. They're just always fighting. and bitching
The
and
game's
nobody-
the game's back on, so go ahead.
Okay. You just shut up for a while.
Sit back and look pretty, okay?
Yeah,
All right.
the sit
All right,
back's the
well-
easy part.
All right, Kyle, Jordan, Kyle.
It works.
What do you do for work?
So I am a technology consultant for Eide Bailly. Eide Bailly started about 100 years ago in the audit, tax, bookkeeping, all that stuff, and has really migrated over the last 20 years or so into the technology space. So they're really big into the software as a service like NetSuite, Salesforce, Workato, building big data centers. And I was working for a company called High Plains Technology up until January this year when they acquired us. we were the only part of their technology niche that they didn't have, where we actually do the managed services. So you own a company, and as an owner of a company, you wear many hats. The one thing that most people don't understand, like yourselves, is technology. We are an outsourced help desk. We do computer, laptop, hardware procurement, servers, everything. So I can consult on anything and everything, including Microsoft, NetSuite, everything. So I'm kind of a technology dork.
So you and your wife are kind of like in the same boat with your careers then, kind of, aren't you?
Yeah, I was in the cybersecurity insurance and personal lines insurance for a long time, and I got it. That's actually how I met Eric. Was through a referral group, and ended up buying a couple of vehicles from him and everything else. But I was selling insurance, and I saw there was a massive gap between the insurance side and the actual people doing the help desk.
Mhm.
And where I come in is in that middle layer to make sure that they transfer all that risk over to the insurance to take care of it. We want to make sure that the insurance is going to pay out at all times, because like we all know, insurance doesn't want to pay out. So I make sure that guidelines that they set are met. And that way, if there is a cyber attack, they're going to get covered for it and everything will be paid out.
Okay. So like it's kind of like IT in a way.
Yeah. So I'm not an IT guy. Like you can't call me and I'm not going to hack into your computer or fix anything. But I have a team that does that. So I sell the services on a monthly basis for
So
a business.
it's IT and insurance combined.
In a way.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
This is literally all Spanish to me.
Yeah, sometimes when we talk about that, you guys need crayons and construction paper to
No.
understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was actually getting into insurance before I have this job now. I just couldn't pass the stupid exam.
Well, you
Yeah.
still got insurance.
Well, it's all legal. I mean, it's crazy how
hard.
it's all legal stuff. And honestly, when I took my P&C side of things, the property and casualty, I didn't pass that one the first time, but my life and health, I passed that one right away.
Rub it in.
Well,
Yeah.
to me, life and health was a lot easier because I understand that really well. My brothers, Kellen and Nick, they live in Minnesota and they're both in insurance. So I mean, we kind of had the whole family into that, and that's how I got into it. My brother Kellen was in it for a while, and he said, "Hey, you should open up your own agency," and that's what I did. So I got out of selling tobacco. That was the most interesting job I ever had.
Do that.
I worked for Grizzly, Newport, Camel, Views. You name the nicotine from RJ Reynolds, and I was selling it. I would go to stores, make sure they're pulling the contracts, do all their marketing, come up with new marketing plans for them to make more money. And just that was the most fun. I had a free company vehicle. We traveled all the time. I really enjoyed it, but we got bought out by our mother company. And if you've ever been through a merger or an acquisition like that, it doesn't go very well.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that I got hired with are no longer there anymore. I was there for 10 years.
It's sad, like when you work for a place and you have such a good camaraderie, like with the employee, like with the coworkers and stuff, and then one thing changes, and then it makes a whole big difference on what.
Well, yeah. And when you're a dad, you're trying to do everything you can to provide for your family, but you also got to have that good attitude when you come home. And when you got all the BS coming back from work, it's hard to hide that and not have that. And all the kids want to do is see you and play with you and do everything they can. It's hard to do that when you had a terrible day at work.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I made the change, was because I wanted to have a better work-life balance, and I wanted to come home and have fun with my kids and have the freedom to go to their games. Or, my son was in high school at the time, so we were traveling out west, or we were going up north and watching him play football, and we did a ton of football camps and stuff. So it provided me a lot of freedom to be able to, leave that industry and get into being more of a dad.
Yeah. It just kind of drags like the rest of the family morale down too. Like when you're not happy with your job and you're taking that out on your wife and kid, even though you don't really mean to. It's just like you're just not in a good mood, and it could be bad for whatever for the future if you don't change it, obviously. But
and at the end of the day, I mean, we're all dads, we're all human, but the one thing that we have to do is we wear that on our shoulders, right? We have to come home and we have to be the support. We have to be there to play with the kids, and we have to be there to help and cook dinner and be what we need to be as dads. And it's hard to do that when your work life is not as enjoyable as it once was when you first started in that industry or with that company.
Right.
So we all make the changes. We all make the sacrifices for the family. So We all understand it. We're all dads.
Yep.
Exactly. I just take it out on my kid every time I come home and I don't sell a car.
I feel so bad for Lucy. I cannot imagine.
Oh, please. That kid puts me through the ringer, and then whatever's left over, she throws it back in there and grinds it again.
Children are just
wait.
product of their environment, Eric. Children are product of their environment. What kind of environment are you providing everybody?
I just can't wait till he tries to make her go mow his jungle in the backyard.
Oh,
Jesus.
man.
It won't
No,
happen.
so I got a nephew that's going to do that for me. So he's going to come over, grab all the crap out of my backyard. We're going to recycle what we can, all the metal and stuff like that, give it to somebody that does that stuff. Like,
You got a scrapyard in your backyard or what?
Yeah, that's pretty close. I got this old smoker. So this is a great episode to admit this, but I bought this. It was like a $400 smoker. It was super small, worked out great. I used it so much, like I burned it out. I burned the auger out, burned the motor out. It was like
What kind was it?
Pit Boss.
Ah,
So I
gotcha.
took it apart, and of course, me with a really, really good memory, took it apart. It's like, fuck, this thing's broke.
Take
And then I
pictures when you take things apart.
Kyle, please, this is my soapbox. Anyways,
Or just be like a little bit smarter.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so I take it all apart because I'm in a hurry. I don't know why. So I call Pit Boss. It's like, yep, the auger's out. So they send me a whole new auger. Well, guess what? I just went out and bought a whole new freaking smoker. Got the auger motor, brand new. The freaking other Pit Boss has been sitting on my deck and not covered up. It's all crap. So it's like, yeah. Anyways, that's how good my memory is. Some days
I bet I could still out Smokey on that.
I
Oh,
highly
yeah.
doubt it.
A real man knows how to smoke on anything.
That's right.
Yeah, I could smoke in my oven.
Smoke,
Yeah.
air fry. What's the difference?
Exactly.
So-
Air fry.
So that's what we're getting into tonight. We're talking about we're gonna do some smoking, or how do you properly cook a meal, and what do you properly cook? Kyle, you got two boys that sound like they're built like a brick shit house, and I'll bet
Yeah.
they eat like no other.
Dude, my 7 and 5-year-old are like little pigeons. They don't eat much, but my 21-year-old, now that he moved home, shit, man, my grocery bill has gone 500% up.
Well, what do you feed him so he's not so you go to the grocery store, Sam's Club, Costco, whatever. So
Yep.
when you go buy this stuff, what are you buying that's a filler? You know, it's like, oh shit, do I buy this, or do you even or do you buy a half a cow, or do you buy pigs? Chicken? What do you do?
We do buy half a pig every year from a family there in Kimball. Then we also have looked at buying cows, but they're so damn expensive
What do you
right
buy
now.
from a pig in Kimball?
I'm buying it from Ashley's parents,
Oh, okay.
so I buy it there. But yeah, I get a half a pig from them, and then it's processed in at Dehigh over in
Yeah, the hides.
Chamberlain.
I've had 2 of my last hogs processed there. What do you think of that?
It's amazing. Their
That bacon-
their
that
sausage is
amazing.
so good.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
man,
the broth.
I don't. The brats are great. The ground sausage is amazing.
Yes.
Their pork chops are really good.
Yes.
Obviously, the big pieces of meat is what I usually go for because I like to smoke the meat. And then like the ribs are okay. Like they're pretty lean, so they don't really do well.
Exactly.
So I don't really care for the ribs. I usually, this last half pig, if you can keep the ribs, give me more pork chops. And they did that. And they actually gave me more pork chops and an extra pork shoulder.
So just like this, I actually have a pig there I got to pick up next month when I go back for a birthday party. But I had it done at Chamberlain Locker, which I don't know what goes on in that town of Chamberlain, but both lockers, I have never, ever, ever been disappointed on how my hog came out processed. It's amazing.
Yeah, I got to head to Rapid here on the 22nd of July, and I swing through there. I was just there in May. I swing through there every time and grab some brats and whatever else we don't have in the freezers for pork because, I mean, it's amazing. I don't know what they do, but they process the hell out of it, and it's so good.
Yes.
Their
You
grind
gotta-
on their brats is amazing.
Yes. You got to stop by and get some, it's kind of downtownish. It's Bad River Jerky. That's another great company. That rural county area, I mean, they got the Kimball popcorn ball. They got that beef jerky. They got those those processing plants. And they got that
They're good.
Buffalo processing plant, I do believe. I don't go back home much, but Oh, dude, I'm telling you, everything great in South Dakota probably came out of Brule County.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know you, but whatever.
Eric, I'm enrolled there now.
In Brule County?
You're
at
from
Lower
Huron.
Brule.
Totally different.
Lower
I'm enrolled
Brule?
in Lower
Not Lower Brule.
Brule
Yeah.
County.
Lower.
So Chamberlain, Puckwana, and Kimball.
Yeah.
God.
That's where Drew gets all of his dogs from.
I have one dog.
Oh gosh.
Just
Yeah,
go
no,
to a
so-
softball tournament and grab one.
So like, what is it that you? I mean, like, yeah,
We'll do like so we're getting ready for the 4th because we'll go up to our lake place, and I smoked a brisket, a pork shoulder, a bunch of pork chops, and I'll throw like a chicken on or what all at once because I have a really big Jim Bowie Green Mountain, and it's the older version of it, not the newer one, so it doesn't have all the bullshit problems. It's a really, really good smoker. I actually got it on trade. I started off with the Davy Crockett, that small travel size one. Bought that thing for like $350, and I used the hell out of it. And I was on Facebook one night, and this guy was trying to sell a Jim Bowie for $300. And I messaged him, I'm like, "What's wrong with this thing? Why are you getting rid of it?" "Oh, I just want something smaller." I said, "Well, I have the Davy Crockett." He goes, "You want to trade?" Absolutely. So I pulled up to his garage. He's got 7 other smokers lined up in his garage, all from Traeger to Rectech to Pit Boss, just lined up. I'm like, "What do you need another one for?" He goes, "I just have a problem." And he doesn't use all of them. He just says he has a problem. He finds them on deal and buys them. And they're all
Did they pay
used.
cash for him?
What's that?
Did they pay cash for him?
I would assume so. But all I know is I traded him for this massive smoker, and now I've got a sweet setup, and I smoke lots of meat at one time. I even do bacon. I'll go buy bacon off the shelf, season it with a little Meat Church bacon seasoning or the D's Nuts Meat Church. Put that on my bacon, and I smoke it like 180 degrees for 2 hours. It renders all that fat, and then it's just nice and crispy, and it has great flavor.
So what is your go-to, Drew? You can answer after Kyle answers, but what is your go-to seasoning when you're throwing it on the smoker? Like, what is your? It doesn't matter the meat. There's got to be a certain rub that you just grab out of the cupboard. You're throwing it on there because you know it's going to turn out, and it's not.
It is without a doubt. It is Meat Church's Black Label Holy Gospel. That thing goes on everything, even your vegetables. It is by far my favorite. I've kind of moved into the Kinder for like vegetables. Kinder's got this caramelized onion seasoning. You can't beat it. It is so good on vegetables, like whether it's Brussels sprouts, broccoli, asparagus, whatever. Green beans.
You gotta
It's
try
so
the
good.
brown sugar bourbon barbecue.
So
I haven't gotten that far into it yet, but I need to.
It's so good.
That sounds like a good one that would go really good on bacon. Like if
Oh,
you bake your bacon, just
I
throw
put
it in
it
the
on
oven.
pizza. I put it on
Really?
bacon. I put it on chicken patties. I put it on steak. I mean, I don't put it on
Yes.
steak. Not steak. Not
We're-
steak.
we're
Don't.
talking
I was
my
gonna say
kind
that's
of
sacrilegious. You
I
can't do
love
that.
this. David's over here like, fuck, dude, I just use the air fryer, so hopefully it works.
I use
must be
the
a
air
dad.
fryer. I use the air fryer and dip it in ketchup.
I can't use the air fryer because my wife tried to clean out the motor and broke it. So
The best way to clean out an air fryer, it depends on which one you have. Like we have a Ninja one that's got the double baskets.
it was
We
a
just
good
throw-
one.
We throw a drop of Dawn dish soap and water, throw it in there, and just boil it, and then you can just dump it all out and clean.
She was trying to just like you know, with the lid, it opens and there's another saute lid that comes with it. It's got the Instapot in there. She was trying to clean so the lid has the motor in the inside. I think she was trying to clean it off as best she could, and
Well, give it A for effort.
yeah. Now I can't air fry my steaks anymore.
Oh, you shouldn't air fry them in the first place. They go on the grill.
Oh yeah, that's right. We don't
can't air fry a
steak,
steak.
David.
All right, Kyle. Just smoke me a brisket, please. I really
can do that.
need one.
I've got a actually. What I'll usually do because we can't eat the whole brisket ones. Well, we could. It's just we won't. I'll usually take that flat off and I'll either slice it or I'll pull it, and we'll use that for meals, whether it's brisket fried rice or if it's just eating it on sandwiches. We'll turn them into egg rolls. We do all sorts of
Brisket
different
egg
meals
roll?
throughout the.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
Sounds great.
yeah. You
I don't
throw.
have enough balls to cook a brisket because it is so time consuming, and I just like the pulled pork, set it and forget it.
Well,
Brisket.
the nice thing about a brisket though is it isn't. It's not any different. The problem is everybody thinks you cook to a time. You don't cook to a time. You
Internal
cook to an
temp.
internal temp. So if you're smoking a brisket, you put your thermometer in the flap. It hits 165. You pull it off. You wrap it. Throw it back in until it hits 205, and you pull it off and let it sit for a couple hours.
What do you wrap it?
I wrap it with foil, or I'll throw it in a foil pan, wrap it with foil with a little bit of I'll throw some like beef stock in there or some more tallow. Like I really like when I trim the brisket, I'll take that fat and I'll throw it in another pan on the smoker so it'll render out.
Yep.
Take the big chunks out of it and I just dump it right over top of that brisket into another pan and then wrap it in foil, stick the thermometer back in and back on the smoker it goes.
Kyle, have you tried the fancy like paper, the fancy wrap paper that
I
like
was
everybody
just
does
gonna
on
ask
like
you that.
all that crap?
Peach paper, baby, the peach butcher paper.
The butcher paper, I hear it. It's great. It's not any different to me. I want to lock in all that juice where that paper is going to soak it in. And I don't want that. I want that juice in the pan or in the foil. So I get when I'm done and it's done resting, I can dump it right back over top that brisket and I've got it all right there. I would much rather have that than actually wrapping it in paper and having half the juices soaked out of it.
But have you
And it would-
like? I mean, everybody always has like their nooks. Like you want it this way, the next person does it this way. Like, have you ever dabbled in anything different, or have you just done? Nope, this is the way I do it, and that's the way it is.
I've done a brisket 3 or 4 different ways. I haven't done it with the paper, but I've done it where I trim it and then I wrap it in foil. I'll do it that way. I've actually done it where I don't trim it at all. My last brisket, most people say, well, you only need to trim it if you're doing it for competition. Not necessarily. I tried not going without the trimming, and it's hard because you got that really fat decal in the middle that gets really hard fat, and you don't want that because it doesn't break down. It gets really fatty on the inside, and it just doesn't have the same flavor because when that fat renders, it takes all your seasoning and all your flavor out of it. And like, have you ever smoked something and then threw it in the crock pot to warm it back up? Or you shake his head like, no. But if you use anything, when it renders that fat again after it's been put in, it ends up losing that smoke flavor. So I don't usually do that too much. But I would always, I'm going to continue to trim it, take that as much hard fat out of it as I can just to get the best smoke flavor and continue to keep that seasoning intact as much as I can. The next one I'm actually going to try injecting and see how that works just because I've seen people take, beef broth and some garlic and some other seasonings and they inject it. I thought about trying that and just seeing how that works.
You ever do a spray bottle of different things?
On my pork, I haven't done it on the brisket just because I haven't really figured out what, like, I don't want to ruin that bark. A lot of people will spritz it thinking you gotta do that because it needs to keep that moisture in, so therefore it doesn't boil out. It's not, if you do it right, you're not going to boil it out.
Right. Right.
And I've tried not wrapping it and I get really good bark on it, but it just
doesn't. 3 kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Zing, the dad joke number 1.
When you do your ribs, how do you do your ribs?
I like the 3-3 method. So I will smoke it for 3 hours.
Method. Drew, what do you do?
What?
How do you do your ribs? I've never heard of a 3-3 method.
On the flat top.
What?
Oh, you put it on your Blackstone.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Smoking ribs on a Blackstone or a flat top?
Yeah, it gets hot enough in there. You get a little bit of smoke in there.
I've never done that.
Or the air fryer.
Because
it turned out amazing. It did. I'm not lying to you.
So first you rip the membrane off the side.
Yep.
Okay, the next question is, what do you use for a binder? Duck fat, mustard?
I've done 2 different things. I've done hot sauce. I've just taken like Frank's hot sauce and put that on there. That turned out pretty good. Doesn't take on the flavor, but that vinegar will cut through a little bit more. It makes it a little more tender. And then I've also just used mustard, just yellow mustard.
Yep.
Put it in there.
Mustard.
And
I've never tried the duck fat, but I want to do the duck fat. I've heard it's amazing, but I don't know.
To me, duck fat might be a little gamey for it. I mean, it's pork, so pork can stand up to it. But at the same
Yep.
time, like, do you really need to add that much more fat to it?
Correct.
I don't like too much gamey taste. It's just I don't know. It's just
So
Yeah.
after you put the binder on, after you put your seasoning on, what do you? Or actually, we're at the seasoning stage. What do you use for seasoning? This is pork.
Just pork. So I will use 3 or 4 different kinds of brand. You know, it's always Meat Church. I'm just a Meat Church loyalty guy. I've used Kinder. I've used a couple of Texas Pit. I've used a couple
Frag
other
Out?
ones. What's up?
Frag Out. Have you used
I've
that seasoning?
No, I haven't tried that one.
That is a veteran-owned and operated company. You can find it at Shields. Very, very good. They actually have one that they have a seasoning you can put on cake.
Oh, really?
Like, yes. Pudding.
Oh.
Yeah, they got it. It's all covered.
See, I'm a fat guy and I like cake, so I try and stay away from it because I eat the whole freaking thing.
So-
Like, that's just who I am. I mean, I'm 6'1", 275 pounds with no muscle.
So how about a coffee rub? Have you ever used a coffee rub?
Yes, I have. I used Eric Gould's mixture.
Yes. And guess what
I
we're
used
doing
it.
today? When we get some time, I'm going to show you guys how to make this coffee rub. I got the recipe right here. We're going to do
Well, that's about the only
I-
thing that's up there.
it. Yeah.
Here's my next question. Have you heard of that
Right.
Kusos? I've sent
Kusos.
sent you videos of that guy, that Kuso that does all
The
those.
Buffalo Bills fan. He does all that
Yeah.
stuff. He does all the
No.
goofy shit.
Have you tried his dirt?
I have
rub
not.
that he
I
calls
can't
the
find
dirt.
it. Where is it?
Pretty sure you can get it off Amazon. I haven't looked,
Okay.
but
I haven't looked on
I'm pretty
Amazon
sure.
or anything.
I'm pretty sure all of his videos, he's always like, you can find it on Amazon. I'm almost
Okay.
positive.
Sure.
Heck
I
yeah.
I haven't
done,
tried it yet either. I want to.
well, he calls it the dirt or something like that.
The dirt, his dirt.
Yeah, and
Kuso's
it's
dirt.
got like charcoal in it. That's what the dark stuff is. And
Yeah,
I mean,
charcoal rubs are pretty good. I've never tried
Yeah.
it.
Salt, pepper in there. I think is the other.
yep, salt, pepper,
What
charcoal,
he calls
and
his
garlic.
dirt. Yeah.
Because it's black. So I mean, it'll give you the nice crust that you're looking for and the beauty,
Oh, yeah.
the beautiful look of it.
He pulls it out, and I'm like, oh, I just want to
Well-
eat that right now. Yeah, I just hawk to eat every time.
Did you ask your wife for that yet? Hey babe, how to hawk too?
Remember, Kyle, we're married.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot. My bad.
So this 3-3 method, I use a 3-2-1. You smoke it for 3 hours, wrap it for 2 hours, put a little bit of shit wire, Bush Light or something like that in there. And then you, the last hour, you're putting a slight glaze of barbecue sauce just to get it tacky. They turn out,
Yep.
a lot of people, you pull the bone out. A lot of people think they're overcooked, but are you you want meat on the bone or you want to pull the bone out and just?
I want to pull the bone out. I got kids, right? Well, now my 7-year-old absolutely loves ribs and he will eat it right off the bone. But I want to pull those bones out and I just want to eat the meat. That's all I mean, I cook meat because I want to eat it. I don't want to have to really work for it. I love king crab legs, but I hate working for my food.
Yeah.
Yes.
You burn the calories before you actually eat anything.
That's
So,
that's like picking boneless wings over traditional wings.
Well, yeah, that's the best.
no,
No,
oh my
shut
God,
up.
what are you, a child?
Yeah.
And
No,
then you
Eat
put it in the air
boneless wings.
fryer.
It's chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
I
just
like
glorified
chicken.
chicken nuggets.
See,
No,
I can't put barbecue sauce on mine because not everybody in my family likes barbecue sauce. So I will
Okay.
do 2 racks of ribs. Usually, just I smoke them for 3 hours. I wrap them for 3 hours, and I pull them out. And then by that time, they've got their crust. They've got all their juices back inside. And when I wrap them, I put butter in there, so
Yeah.
it gives a little bit of moisture. Put more seasoning on it, and I'll pull them out. Pull the bones out, and the kids love it. If I pull the bones out of my 7-year-old, he gets mad because he wants to feel like a man and eat it off the bone.
Yeah.
So I give him a half a rack of ribs, and they're gone before I even sit down to eat my food.
What's the temperature you're cooking those at?
Between 225 and 230.
Okay. Yep. I do a
Just
3-2-1.
depends on what the external temperature is. I mean, if it's really hot outside, I'll cook it at 220 because the internal temp of your smoker will get a little hotter because
Yep.
it's conducting heat. So I will cook it at a lower temp just to make sure I monitor that a little bit.
Yep.
So
You ever-
your guys' Eric, both your guys' yours and Kyle's smokers, are you guys doing it old school or are you guys doing electric?
It's electric. Yep.
I originally started off with charcoal and wood, and I loved it. I used one of those Brinkman trash can styles, and I smoked so much that it bottomed out. Like it couldn't take it on anymore. I lifted it up to move it, and the bottom fell right out of it. So
Damn.
I went with
Okay.
the electric just for the simplistic value of I don't have to sit and monitor it the whole time.
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
set it and forget it.
In a way, yeah. I mean, I'll go run to the grocery store, run to Sam's or whatever, and by the time I come back, sometimes I'll have to add more pellets to it, or it's fine, and I can wait a couple more hours before I have to add more to it.
Yeah.
But I like to be able to set it, and then I go play catch with my boys, or we'll go run errands or whatever it is, and then come back.
Kyle, Drew, do you even use those meters? Like, you know, where you
Oh.
just the Bluetooth?
I
Or do
want
you just
one. I
use the
don't
ones
have
that
one.
come with the smoker.
I'm using one on the smoker, and then I also have the ThermoPen. I use the ThermoPen on the bigger pieces of meat because obviously different sections of cooking, right?
Is that the brand ThermoPen, or is that
Yep.
uh,
ThermoPen
Okay.
is the brand. Yep, it's just
so
a
is
thing
that
that's
better than the meters?
I honestly I don't know. I've never used a meter. I would like to have a meter just to check it out and see. I
So-
like the fact that those are Bluetooth, but again, Bluetooth's only got a range, right? So
Exactly. I was just going to
unless
say
you,
that.
get, unless you get it in the, like that's what I like about my smoker that I have. I put it on Wi-Fi mode. I put it on their server. I can see it from everywhere. Like
Yep.
I can be at work. I can be at my lake place when my son's using it, and I get a warning. Hey, your smoker's reached a temperature. Okay, my kid's using it now. You know,
Can you adjust that from the phone if you're
Yep.
nice?
with the
Wish
app.
I had
So I
that
can, as long as it's on, like if I went to work and I
Yep.
turned it on and then I went to work and I wanted to start it up, I could start it from there and I could say, hey, Heidi, go throw the pork butt on. It's already seasoned. It's been sitting in the fridge, ready to go. Go throw it on, and then I'll crank the temp up to 220.
Interesting. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's
So-
nice. I prefer that because then, like if I want to smoke a pork loin, right? Those things dry out so fast, but I don't want to start it at 8 a.m. I can start it at noon, whether I go home or whether Heidi throws it on, and by the time I get home, it's ready to be sliced or shredded or whatever we're looking to do.
Yep.
This might be a stupid question, but when you guys say electric, does that mean it doesn't run off of propane then?
Yeah,
Yep.
just plug right
Yep,
into
plugs right into the outlet.
Yeah, it's
But
fun.
a smoker
very-
doesn't run off of propane anyways.
No.
So
David.
I wouldn't know that.
electric.
Well, some of the competition guys will run it off of propane to get the temp up,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
so they have to turn it off for the competition.
sure.
But I mean, either which way, you can do it however you want. I like having the flexibility of the electric smoker.
Sure.
When I had the Brinkman, I was sitting beside it all day. It was great because then I didn't have to do shit around the house because I had to sit there and make sure I had enough heat and I could monitor it a little bit. But at the same time, this gives me a little more flexibility to do other stuff.
If
I
you
mean-
want to eat, woman, you'll let me monitor this smoker.
I mean, it's nice because I can throw something on the smoker, and then I have 2 Blackstones, so I'll go cook on the Blackstone. Whether it's breakfast or if I'm making lunch on the Blackstone or whatever, I can do 2 things at once. Where sometimes you really can't do that because you got to wait for the actual spike in the meat, and the
Yep.
temperature of the smoker if it's electric, or not electric, I should say.
So you just put pellets in it, and that's how it runs. I'm
Yep.
stupid with this stuff.
Well,
Oh yeah, stupid. This is common questions. This is what I started with.
What's your go-to
Yeah.
pellet? What's your
Yeah,
go-to
David, you're
pellet?
stupid.
Oh my gosh. Hey. My favorite.
Just stick to
I
your
have
air
one-
fryer. It's easy. That's electric too. Your air fryer's electric too. That's
You
why
know, the
when
funny
use
thing
the
is
soap
I
and
started-
water, it broke.
When my oldest was 9, I taught him how to cook using a pizzazz. He could
Heck
cook
yeah.
pizzas. He did those.
I did
Patties.
quesadillas on that thing.
Oh yeah, I had it in college, and I really learned how to cook that way. And then my son didn't want to go to summer care or anything like that, so I said, if you're going to stay home, I can't come home every day. You got to learn to cook. So I taught him how to make eggs, and then I got a pizzazz, and he can make pizzas. He made pizza rolls, the chicken fingers, chicken patties, all this stuff. Boneless wings, chicken nuggets if you want to call them, like everybody else. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's how he learned to cook, and now he can cook, and his girlfriend can't. So it's crazy how you can evolve cooking habits. I got my Blackstone. The first thing when I was out of town, the first thing he did was use my Blackstone. He made Philly cheesesteaks on it. So it's kind of nice to be able to, take that and teach him some things because he actually has interest in cooking.
You seasoned it before he used it, though, right?
Oh hell yeah! I
Okay.
seasoned it. I got my first one when I turned 40. My wife bought it for me for my 40th birthday, and she got me the 22-inch, the 2-burner.
Yep.
I seasoned that bad boy up. I had it in the garage. It didn't come with a stand, so I actually bought a bar cart on Amazon for like $75. Put it on that, seasoned it up, got it all going. Then I used that, and then like 2 years later, my wife goes, "You need a bigger one." I'm like, "All right, I'm not gonna."
I'm not going to tell you no.
Right?
Yeah, I'll
Right.
do
So-
surgery, I promise.
So I bought another one, and I've got the 4-burner now, and I cook on that, and I use that thing religiously. During the
What's your
summer, it's
favorite
great.
thing to cook on the Blackstone?
Oh, I'd say either fried rice or Philly cheesesteaks. I love
Yes.
making homemade, like brisket fried rice or pulled pork fried rice. Obviously chicken, but I mean those types of things. It's awesome because it's so fast. If you've got one, you can take
Yeah.
your cook time and cut it down to 15 minutes for anything.
Absolutely. Well, and that's the thing.
I
is it's
haven't dabbled in the hibachi, the rice and the noodles and stuff yet,
Oh.
but I want to.
If I can give you any advice when it comes to that, if you buy like the minute rice, right? Like if you go buy either the Uncle Ben's minute rice and you boil it in your house, or if you buy the stuff that's in the packages you cook for a minute and a half, cook it the night before, take it out, put it in like a Tupperware, just fluff it up a little bit, let it get to room temperature, then throw it in the fridge overnight, and then take it out and throw it on your grill, because you want that dryness to be used, because it'll soak up the soy sauce and all the seasonings and stuff
Yes.
much better. And then I just go buy like a frozen bag of mixed vegetables, throw that in there, and a chicken on the other side, and I get that nice and crispy with all the seasonings. Like I'll usually marinate it in like soy sauce and some hoisin sauce and a
Hoisin
little bit of
sauce,
sugar, and you just mix it up, let it sit overnight, and then you throw it on the grill.
Have you ever used Dale's?
No, I don't know if I
Dale's.
did.
The liquid Dale's, it's a marinade. It says it goes on chicken, steak. I mean everything. It goes on everything. At Walmart, it's called Dale's.
I'm gonna have to check
It's
that out.
It's super salty, so like you only need like a little bit. I mean, it's
Okay.
not much, but
Sure.
I marinate our steaks in it every time, and it's so good.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Do you ever reverse
so
sear your steaks?
Always.
Oh,
That's
the
the
best
only way
way
to
to do
cook
it.
it.
Is it a Big Eagle blend, Drew, or
What's that?
is it a Big Eagle blend, or
Yeah. It is. It's his own little mixture.
So I'm a huge breakfast guy. I love breakfast.
Oh yes.
And
Yeah.
breakfast on the
100%.
Blackstone is probably the best ever. So go get your Pillsbury biscuits, just the regular ones, whatever. You want the butter and the Southern, whatever. Throw those things on the Blackstone. Let them cook for, to be honest, I bet it's 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes
Each
top.
side. Each
Yep.
side.
Yes, and then you pull them apart. They're not doughy, but they have the doughy consistency. Best biscuits for biscuits and gravy ever. Kyle,
Really?
I put money on it.
Ooh. I'd
Yeah.
have to try that.
air fries?
Yes.
That sounds
I
delicious.
haven't done it yet, but it's gonna happen here shortly. People are
Yes.
taking the biscuits. I'm gonna do that. But the
Yes.
other thing that I was gonna talk about was the Cinnabons, the morning Cinnabon things.
Yep.
People are taking them out of the can, putting them on their flat top, smashing them,
Yes.
and those are the buns for your breakfast
Oh,
sandwich.
that
Breakfast
sounds-
smash burgers is what they're called. Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm getting
You
so
get the
fat listening.
Cinnabon, sausage
Oh.
patty, an egg, and then
egg,
bacon, cheese, and then the other Cinnabon
Oh,
on top.
yes.
Breakfast sandwich.
That
Love.
sounds
I
amazing.
seriously love pork. Like I love pork more than I love beef, and I love beef.
I don't. I don't.
I can't say I do either.
I mean, beef is what I grew up on. I mean, that's
Yeah.
beef and deer. I mean,
Yes.
Let's see, listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, even the girlfriend says that I have the best biscuits and gravy. She hasn't even experienced the Blackstone biscuits.
Eric is the worst at biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
He said.
All right, boys. You guys ready to make some coffee rub? This is probably the all-time. Put it on burgers. Put it on pork. Put it on chicken. I tell you what.
no.
Yeah. Yes.
Put on everything.
Everything.
His cereal.
Is there
everything.
actually coffee grounds in it?
Yes.
I'm out.
You got to
Shut up.
remember, Eric is 100% either cooking or drinking coffee.
Yes.
He has no other life. I can't believe he actually found a girlfriend. Melissa, I don't know what you're thinking.
Yes. So, first thing, Drew, Like, I'm a huge supporter of any military or veteran-owned and operated.
Yeah,
Smell it, Dave.
100%,
That's
sure.
fresh ground coffee.
Yeah, that's the Grizzly.
So,
that guy used to say.
No, this is not Grizzly fucking spit chew. This is good coffee. Drew, this
See, I
is
don't-
stuff that this makes
I don't
it
drink
taste.
coffee though.
You
I don't
don't have
drink
you don't
coffee.
taste it. It doesn't taste like coffee. It doesn't
Okay.
taste like coffee. So
Okay.
It smells like coffee, but I don't know if it tastes like.
we're gonna. This is a quarter cup. So quarter cup of coffee grounds.
You pouring that in his lap?
Can it be yeah?
What's that?
Can it be Folgers?
No.
Black
Come on.
Rifle, come on.
Black Rifle. There we go. Quarter cup of coffee grounds.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of brown sugar.
Eric,
Okay.
would you do show and tell?
Yes, this is show and tell, baby.
I
It's
brought my mom's-
baggy. It's the only
I brought
baggie
my
that's got
mom-
real shit in it.
What's that?
It's just the only baggie that's real.
Yeah.
Legal, I should say.
I brought
2
my mom's
tablespoons of
rocket
this
ship.
I think it's solid.
Yeah. So when
My
you're
mom's
making
rocket
this,
ship.
the brown sugar is gonna clump up just because you guys all know what brown sugar is, right?
Yeah, it's got
It's
it's
sugar that's
it's
brown.
sugar with molasses.
No. So if you want to make homemade brown sugar because you don't have any molasses and white sugar,
Yeah.
Echo, I just said that.
didn't hear you.
Jesus.
He has selective hearing.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So this stuff, this is pretty cool. Kyle, I have a container for you. Drew, I have a container for you.
Black
This
pepper.
is no, it's not just black pepper. It's smoked black pepper.
It's pretty good.
Huh.
So
This is the stuff you made, right?
that I
Yeah.
made this. I smoked this on my smoker, soaked it in Jack
Before
Daniels.
burnt
Tennessee
up
honey.
or after?
What's that?
Before you started it on fire and tried to fix the auger, or
Oh,
After-
this is the other. This is the new smoker.
gotcha.
2 tablespoons of brown black pepper.
I feel like that'd be me if I bought a smoker and tried to fuck with it. I'd set it on fire.
Yeah.
You can get that'll happen when you get a little bit of grease in the bottom. That'll happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Let's
I've had
clean
my
them.
fair share of grease fires. I'll tell you what, boy.
You gotta clean them.
Yeah.
I always have a spray bottle sitting right next to it just in case.
So then I'm actually all out of it. So I usually take this stuff for coarse salt and I smoke it for 24 hours. So I usually have smoked salt. 2 tablespoons
Why?
of salt. What?
why is smoked salt and smoked pepper better than just salt and
It's
pepper?
got a whole different flavor profile.
Absolutely.
We have different kinds of smoked salts in our house too. They were given to us as a gift.
Not bath salt, Drew. Not bath salts.
He's not in Florida. Oh, wait a minute, he's in Pierre. It's the same thing.
That's only Sioux Falls people that do that.
Oh, I don't think so. Maybe the north side. That's about it.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go with, you know what? I've had 2 beers and I'm like, my memory's not good. So here's my
What?
recipe right here. I'm just kidding, Kyle.
No, you're not.
So,
I've had beer.
garlic powder. Dude, if you guys seen my spice cupboard, you'd be like, holy shit, Eric, why do you have so much?
My wife
Did
gets
I-
mad at me because mine's so damn full.
So this is my question. Are you making this to send it to me for me to try?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I don't care. So 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. Kyle's already had it. David's already have it.
My guess
Oh,
is he's gonna
just-
throw it in the garbage.
Odd
No,
man
I
out.
don't need
I'll
garbage.
try it. I will try it.
I will say it's probably best on beef.
I'll try anything
Beef?
once.
Pork, chicken. Spatchcock the chicken.
Beef.
Yeah. All right.
It's
1
got-
tablespoon of onion powder. How does
The-
that, what's that, dude? Onion.
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 The Cajun Creole, man. Cajun crackers.
Yeah.
Things and
There's a lot of shit in this.
Yes, there is.
yeah.
1 tablespoon onion powder.
He
You know what the
doesn't
funny
understand-
part is? David's over here breathing in the dust that when it hits the bottom of the bowl, he's like,
It's like going up my nostrils here.
that's why I cook in an air fryer. I don't need seasoning. Air
exactly. Everything's easier.
God.
That's so bad.
We're
All
gonna
right,
get
so
you a
let's-
smoker. He's gonna learn how to smoke food here eventually. He'll grow up one day.
Well, one of these days.
This thing is just going up my nose.
Do you have like a propane grill?
No, he's got an air fryer. Well, used to.
I have a
It's got an
stove.
air fryer and an oven, and that's it.
1 teaspoon of ground ginger.
God, you got to put more in there?
We're down to our last two ingredients, boys.
David, I told you that I'm selling my flat top. So, I mean,
Why are you
David,
getting
I
rid of
don't
it?
know how to turn it on. Is it
What?
electric?
Why are you
Is it
getting rid of it?
because I want a bigger one.
Just tell the wife you need another one.
Yeah, well, she was gonna buy me one for Father's Day a couple weekends ago, but I said we're moving here in the middle of July. I'm like, let's
Getting the
wait
hell out of
because
there, huh? It's a good idea.
well, just moving a block over.
Oh. You moving to that new development on the other side of the river there with that inlet that they're building out?
Yeah, right. Yeah. If I made that much money, I wouldn't be on this podcast.
You do what you guys need to do when you're done with this. You need to share it on all your channels. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
Eric.
I do every
I
time.
haven't seen it.
Oh man, that's because you live under a rock.
No, you just
So-
must not be very high ranking on my favorites list.
Yeah,
That must be it. Last
he
ingredient,
unfollowed you, Eric.
one teaspoon of paprika. I don't know if you guys have used the cheap paprika, or do you guys go with the high dollar smoked paprika?
Tastes
Nope,
the same.
I buy all my spices from the dollar store.
Well,
I buy
that's
all my shit pre-mixed.
pre-mixed. No, like
All it's from China, right, Eric?
no, this is not all from China.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I bet your shirt is though.
No, it's not.
No, he made it on his Cricut before he started.
Yeah. I don't have a cricket. So now we're just gonna mix them up.
Well, boys, we're at 56 minutes. We better get to our dad jokes.
Stop. That's my part. Start crying like David over here. I'm just mixing this up. I'm just showing you guys. It's gonna get mixed better, and then it's gonna go to your doorstep, Drew. I'm not telling you. This is probably gonna be the best freaking rub
Come
I've
on.
ever tried.
Except for that one. Except for that one in Taiwan.
No, Kyle, I gotta talk slow because if you forgot, Drew is from West River, so you have to talk.
Oh my.
slow. What?
Oh my, I grew up in Rapid City.
No. You live in Sioux Falls, so once you move to the east side of South Dakota, then you're good.
Oh, okay.
Where's
Yeah.
it from?
Well, yeah, it all washed away when you crossed over the Missouri River.
Right.
You were baptized.
Yeah,
Oh.
Drew, I want to put that shit in the mail. I'm just gonna dump it in a package and send it to you. So it's gonna look like
Put it in an envelope. They're gonna think it's
Put it-
anthrax.
Put it in a Ziploc bag next to all the white powder in that Ziploc bag you sent me to.
yes, they won't be able to smell the cocaine because
Just
there's
make
coffee
sure-
there.
Make sure you twist it really tight though.
Yes.
God. Be
All
careful.
right,
He's probably gonna show up on your doorstep. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
What are you talking about, Coach?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you guys ready?
Sure.
What are we doing?
Dad jokes, baby.
Dad joke time. All right.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
After David stops bitching about the garlic powder that's in his nose,
I'm good.
Kyle,
That one's
you
gotta
know
smell
how
pretty
to-
good. No,
Oh,
I don't. I'm assuming we just tell our favorite dad joke.
Yeah, we go in
That's
order
right.
though. Usually the guest goes first. So
All right. All right. What do you call a blind dinosaur?
Oh.
Do you think he saw us?
What'd you say?
Do you think he saw us?
Oh
I
my
like
God.
that one.
That
I
is
like
good.
that one. That's way better than anything David's come up with in 2 years.
Give it
Well, how
20
long
minutes.
how long has David been a dad?
Over a
For
year.
2 years.
Year and a
See,
half.
there's that's why he's still learning.
Yeah, right.
That part is I'm older than this asshole.
We'll call
The
it that.
sad part is 20 minutes from now, he won't even know you gave a joke.
2 second Tom.
There's a backstory on that. That's a funny backstory too.
That's 3 weeks
gotta
ago.
You got to go back and watch our episodes so we get one more view there.
All right,
Kyle.
I can do that.
I'll do
It's
it.
probably
Yeah.
two or three episodes ago. I think it was.
Yes. All right,
All right,
Drew,
who's
we'll
next?
have you go next.
Who's going next?
You are.
You.
Okay, like as I promised, or as we talked about last week,
Yes.
I got this for Father's Day. My very first Father's Day I ever got this.
You start with page 1, joke 1,
It's
and that's all
it's-
you.
101 so bad they're good dad jokes. That's what it says. And yes, Eric, it has illustrations. Look, illustrated by.
Yes.
Illustrated by. So, but we're just doing page 1, episode 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
To read.
No, that's a dumb one. I'm not doing that one. I don't have any glasses.
Oh my god.
Well, we'll get you some glasses for next episode.
This illustration looks like Steve Harvey or Martin Luther King in here.
Those two don't look anything alike.
Okay. The waitress comes up to you and says, "Do you want a box for your leftovers?" What is your response? He says, "No, but I'll wrestle you for them."
Uh,
Yes. All right.
There it is.
That's,
Can I say one? Can I say one that I actually like got a joke for?
let's do it.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Why did Anna not give Elsa the balloon? You guys have all seen Frozen, right? Frozen,
yeah.
the little kids movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she'd let it go.
All right, Drew, don't quit your
That
day
makes
job.
sense.
David, you want to go next or do you want me to go
I
next?
think you should.
Okay. Why is 6 scared of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9.
That was your dad joke?
That's my dad joke.
That's awful.
No.
That's like, hey, 1985 called. They want their joke back.
Hey, it's a dad joke. Dad jokes are like the best because you don't understand them, Kyle. We're going to explain it to you real quick here so you can laugh. 6, 7, 8, 9. Like 7, 8, 9, but it's actually 7, 8, 9. Do you
I
need
know. So
See, now
dumb.
you laugh.
David.
It's a register.
David, you
Save
need
us.
to get your stuff back so you can exit this guy out when he does a stupid joke like that again.
Oh, I'm going to piss in your seasoning before I send it to you.
Oh, geez, just more flavor. There's only 7 other things in there.
All right. I gave my handyman a to-do list, but he only did jobs 1, 3, and 5. Turns out he only does odd jobs.
Oh, mine was so much better.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, whatever.
Number of brain cells in your head.
Well, at least I had
Well,
some.
should we rescue with the random cooking one that I just turned to?
Let's do it.
Dad, Mom says she's not cooking dinner tonight because she's revolting. Well, you're pretty repulsive yourself.
There you go. There you go.
Oh man, Kyle.
And then we just pretty much say, Kyle, that's a wrap. Good to meet you. Bye.
See you later.
First, we say thank you for letting David know that an air fryer is not a cook source.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And if you find a deal on the little Facebook thing for a trade, somebody wants to trade their smoker for an air fryer, David, let David know. Let
I will
David
do
know.
that.
I'll
I
take
will do that. As long as the air fryer actually works and isn't the broken
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'll
Right.
just sell mine. It doesn't
There you
work.
go. Well, so our house has got a lot of stuff. We've got 2 Blackstones. We got a smoker. We got the Weber grill, but we also have an air fryer. We have an Instapot. We have an immersion blender. We have all this shit that is everywhere in our house. But my wife and I both really enjoy cooking, and we do all sorts of things. So it's kind of one of those things where we have a catch-all of everything. So if you ever need an appliance, let me know. I've probably got 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, we should just rent them out. But
I probably should.
Yeah, treat it like an Airbnb.
yeah, That's a good idea. Let's rent smokers out. Let's just have like 30,000 smokers we rent out to dads that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. We should do a smoking class.
That would be awesome.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
We could invite Snoop Dogg.
Oh, there you go.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus, she gave that up.
I know, but I bet she doesn't forget it.
I think
Right.
we have to get a little bit more than one viewer on here to get those guys.
Well,
get
maybe this time if you tag me in it, a lot of people will see it and I'll share it and I'll put it across different platforms and
know
you can
what?
make little 15-minute snippets and throw it on TikTok.
Yes.
We were told to do snippets, but David, he's so worried about air frying steaks and all this good stuff, but that if you had a smoker, you could just set it and forget it.
He does. It's called his wife.
No, that's called a smoke show.
Oh, that's what it is. I forgot. I'm too old for this because I'm older than all of you.
All right. Well, no, seriously, Kyle, thanks for coming on. It
Yeah,
wasn't
Kyle,
really,
thank you.
it wasn't
no
really
problem.
last minute, but we needed somebody with a little bit more experience. Obviously, in this podcast right now, you got the most experience. What, a 21-year-old kid? You said 20.
Yeah, 21 years old.
Heck yeah.
I calculated it out. By the time my last one graduates high school, I will have raised children for 37 years.
That's
And
awesome.
I will be 51 years old.
Yee, that's a seasoned vet of being a dad right there. We love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
My dad was 59 when my littlest brother graduated high school. So
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Just time
Yeah.
flies too. I mean, my youngest is starting kindergarten, so it's finally no more daycare bills. But at the same time, you got after school care and everything else you spend money on.
Yeah.
We've
Kid-
graduated away from toys and more into experiences now. So we've done a Disney cruise. We do Twins games, Vikings games, all that stuff, just to get them
Nice.
out and to see different parts of things, so that way they can
yeah.
have better experiences because they have memories. They last
See,
forever.
that's just-
Toys are done in
that's just-
6 weeks.
That's money wasted to Eric, and I just
It
don't
is,
get
but
it.
you know what? It's glad that you get them out there and show them the amateur teams. I appreciate that.
Hey, I'm not a Vikings fan. My wife is.
I know you're a
Yes, I-
Packers fan. That's just as bad.
You know,
Oh,
Hey,
you
we like to
poor
wake up
thing.
and piss excellence.
Yeah. You guys also like to lick concrete walls.
so
What are you? You're a Vikings fan, aren't you?
Well, naturally.
Concrete walls. It's supposed to be a window. It's window lickers.
yeah, come on.
Come
What
on.
No,
That's how dumb Vikings fans are.
there was that picture of that Green Bay fan licking the concrete stairwell.
Well, he was licking the pole first of all.
It was a stairwell, concrete stairwell.
Oh,
Kyle, I'm right with you. Go Pack, go, brother.
that's right. Been to Lambeau twice. I want to go back
Have
again.
fun. Have
I
fun
do-
being the fourth best team in the division this year.
I
Well,
do-
we
How's
all
that
know
even possible? There's no way you guys are going to beat us this year. You guys don't even have a quarterback.
We
Don't
got
even have
two.
a team.
Yeah, you have Sam Darnold, backup king of life, and JJ McCarthy, who can't get the playbook. They've already came out and said he's not even starting. He's going to be the third string.
No, he's going to be backup.
Yeah, third string backup.
No, second. Just backup, not third.
You
string.
wait and see. He's going to have as good
Darnold.
a season as Caleb Williams from freaking Chicago.
Darnold's going to blow you guys away.
He's going to blow something.
Yeah.
Probably his knee
Caleb
out.
Williams. Caleb Williams.
He has,
know-
did you see his first? Yeah, I got that one now. A little slow on that one, but I'll tell you right now. Did you see the reports out of Chicago? His first interleague scrimmage, 7
yeah.
turnovers. He still
Yeah.
can't get the playbook.
Yeah. It's
He's
okay. We'll be
screwed.
fine.
Kyle, I have to applaud you for taking your kids to a game and teach them what losing looks like.
They have to learn how to be fair sports, right? And
Exactly.
it happens to be I took them to Packer Vikings games, so they got to see
Oh.
their team win, and they got to see the fact that this is how you handle a loss.
So they hand out participation awards, when you go to those games, and then you go to
Yes, they do.
Lambeau, then you show them the real thing.
Right? They have not been to Lambeau
get
yet.
it.
Only I have.
Yeah.
David grew up on participation awards. If you guys didn't know that,
I was the king
Yeah,
of them.
The air fryer fanatic.
Still winning.
oh, it's good.
Oh God!
I
This
never
is
missed
great.
it.
Anytime you guys want to talk sports, cooking, life, anything like that, being a dad, I'm always
Heck
available.
yeah, great
Sweet.
episode
That's
tonight.
awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm always here. Eric knows I'm always available, especially after 8 o'clock because my kids go to bed.
Heck yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
I have an idea. Since Drew is always battling Eric on cooking, we should just do one massive cook-off one time, and then during our podcast, we should just have a sample of like all the different meats and stuff of like who can cook the best.
Yeah, but how are
See,
you?
this is the worst part. Is David always like recommends this because he only cooks out of the air fryer, and he
So
wants
he's not
to be
going to
the
actually have
taste
to
tester.
participate. He gets to
He
be the
wants
taste
no.
tester?
He wants to
Yeah.
be the taste tester. Yeah,
But
that's
just-
why he wants to actually eat.
It's because you
good.
guys are always
One
battling
time.
about who's the best cook. I'm always just like, hey, I'll just taste.
We
the
don't
food.
have to
Just
battle.
come down to Sioux Falls and we'll just do a big old barbecue.
Exactly.
No, it's a contest. It's not a barbecue. It's a contest.
It'll be a barbecue to our wives. It'll be a contest to us.
Do you ever mow your lawn with your neighbor? No, it's a contest. Who can mow it sooner?
I don't mow my own lawn. I have a kid that does it.
Well,
Well,
pretty sure you mow your lawn, and then your neighbor mows his. That's a competition there.
No, it does actually happen. I mean, my son mowed the lawn this week, and then our neighbor mowed his when he got back from vacation.
Yes.
It was a little
It's
wet,
a thing.
but
it's a real thing.
it is.
And you can
It is
bring
a
up
real thing.
your beanbag boards. He got a participation award for playing against me that one day.
Yeah.
Hey,
let Dave
I won
Quit.
mine in a tournament, so I got custom
Quit.
made Packer ones.
Quit calling it beanbags. It's cornhole.
Bag talks.
I just call it bags.
Yeah.
Bags.
Bags.
Yep. Grow up, Drew.
The hockey game's back on. Third period.
All right. I suppose we better get home.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, that's
Dave
pretty
was
after
by
your
his
time.
call, and we're getting the SWAT team out searching for Dave. He's 15 minutes past his curfew.
Uh-oh. Well, she's at home with a 2-year-old. I can see why.
No, he's probably sleeping by now. He should be anyway. It's probably hotter than shit in the house yet, but
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Rogers Heating and Plumbing is a good one to call on that. They'll come out right away.
Yes.
yeah, we already got it taken care of. They just said it won't get down to temp until about 2 a.m.
Oh.
Compressor or condenser fan motor, I think it
Well,
was.
you can't use an air fryer because that heats up your kitchen.
I know.
Should just
That's
get a
why you
flat
have a
top for
smoker.
outside.
Smoker, flat top, and a regular grill. Cook outside all summer long.
Yes. Microwave ramen Cholula. Good.
Why does it stop at summer? It's just all
Year long. I move my
Hey.
I move my Blackstone in my garage. I use it all winter.
I will.
Mine's just covered, so I don't have to worry about it.
I
all
just
year
I,
round, but some
I went and
people
bought one of those silicone covers, so I put that over top of it, and then
I'll go out there in my coveralls. I don't care.
don't. Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd rather just go into my garage. I have a 3-stall, so my truck
right,
sits on one side, my Denali's on the other.
Heck yes. Good episode. Love that we have somebody else that likes food.
Yeah, I can talk
Yes.
about anything. I can talk a lot if you can't tell. You guys have a good night, man.
I
Yeah,
know.
you too.
Thanks again, Kyle. Have a good
Thanks,
night.
Kyle.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
one. See you, man.
See ya.